Are you mad? It look like you mad though. You should be mad. Even though I had a good weekend for the 4th of July, I heard of the tragedies of these events of senseless killing, and my condolences goes out to the parents who lost their children over the 4th of July. We need to stop this senseless killing. We need to stop, because the only people that's getting hurt are the innocent people and the babies. Put the guns down. I'm about to review Dirty John Betty Season 2 Episode 6. This one was very interesting, and it was a very low blow. When I said they hit Betty below the belt, they hit her below the belt. But some of it was kind of her fault. Even though she tried, some of it was her fault. We're going to get into it. Betty is being released from jail, and she sees a pamphlet called HALT, which means Help Abolish Legal Training. This program is actually a real program that help people who can't afford real lawyers in the courtroom and help them prepare for self-representation in the court, which I do not recommend you do, especially if you do not know the law or familiar with the law. So the reporter Sid comes to Betty and actually want to get her side of the story and do a report on her, because a lot of people go through this, and he gives her his card. I said this is a good thing, because she could get her story out, and a lot of people could probably see her side of the story if her story be told, if it's brought to the light. Betty arrives home, right, and everything is gloomy, dark, and she have a lot of mail piled up. It's dust particles everywhere, and she checks her mail. She looks through the mail with Dan Barrick's name on it, and inside of it, it has a freaking news clipping that he is engaged, and it says, "B, eat your heart out." I like, Dan is petty for that. It's so immature. Let me tell you. But I wouldn't have got so upset about that. I would have been happy for him. At least I got one crazy person off my goddamn hand. Then it comes to Betty is dining out with her friends, and then they talking about her daughter Tracy graduation, and you know, Betty is fixated on if the whore, aka Linda, is coming to the graduation, and think Dan will be out of his mind to bring the Linda to the graduation. See, I don't have a problem with you bringing your spouse or your significant other to the graduation, long as everybody stay in their lane. I stay in mine, you stay in your lane, and we all act accordingly and cordial to one another. I wouldn't have no problem. Betty decides to call Sid and take him up on his offer for this article on the newspaper before the property settlement hearing, because a guy that delivered the paper for the court thing delivered the paper again, and she was actually kind to the guy and offered him some candy, and he actually took it. I thought that was nice, and she was a little bit in a better place at that point. Sid and Betty actually meet, and she tell her story how she would read magazines, how men would go through midlife crisis, and how they will always lose their mind until it really hit her home. It wasn't really funny, and I believe everything is always funny when it's on the other receiving end, but when it hit home, it hurts. And it's not so funny. So, when it comes to other people's situations, we have to be a little mindful of their situation. Because some people out there, especially the internet, y'all could be ruthless. I be reading the comments, y'all be leaving on people pages, and y'all be saying some ruthless things. I like, nah, y'all crazy. Y'all be crazy. Some of me funny, but y'all be wilding. That's a fact. Let me tell you, they be ruthless. It's the day of Tracy's graduation, and Betty is trying to wave her daughter down, right? And Betty see that the daughter encountered with Linda first, and it hurted Linda hard, right? It pierced her soul like that. I'm just saying, it pierced her. She felt some kind of way, like how her daughter would embrace the stepmother first instead of her. But I said the daughter probably didn't see her, or she probably did. I don't know, cause Linda was way in the back. But I think I would have went to my mother first if I seen her. But Betty should have been up front, not all the way in the back. Not me. That's my daughter. I would have been up in front and center for my child to see me before she encountered with Linda and greeting her. Linda is actually at the table, like eating some snacks and stuff like that, and her daughter actually comes up to her and say, I've been looking for her. I don't think her daughter was really looking for her. I think the father put her up to get any information out of her. And you should have seen the daughter expression. She was disappointed because Betty don't even tell her daughter, congratulations, I'm proud of you. She goes right into talking about Dan and Linda. But you should have saw her daughter expression. She like, come on, Mom. This is like my graduation. Why are we talking about this? Her face was so disappointed. I was like, that is not the time and place to talk about that. But Betty is stuck in this obsession with the relationship of Dan and Linda. So the daughter Tracy goes home and Dan is panicking. He want to know, do she know about the engagement, the news article? He like actually freaking out. I like, why do you care? You don't even want Betty, so why do you care if she know this information? What was so critical about that he wanted Betty to be so fixated if she have any knowledge of the engagement? But then the daughter announces that she wanted the wedding china back. I like, if it's my wedding china, you gonna give it back. So I would have asked that in the court. I don't care about nothing else. If that thing belonged to me, I would want it back, and I would request that in the court of the divorce court to bring that back to me. She didn't have a lawyer for the divorce, so she couldn't request that. Betty actually arrives to the whole meeting. One person just finished their speech, and the lady in charge of the program wanted her to tell her story. So Betty gets up there and tell her story, and how Dan put her through a lot, and how she got fined by calling him the D-head on the answer machine. And they got a kick out of that. At this point, Betty realizes that she has support on her side, and she actually feel relieved that somebody is in her corner just by telling her side of the story. So the lady from the whole program and Betty are sitting down. They talking about the case, and do she understand the Epstein? Because Betty have no knowledge of the law, especially divorce law. And Betty want to represent herself. Once again, Betty, bad idea. Why would you want to do that? Why, Betty? Bad idea. In my opinion, representing yourself in court is fine, but you have to have a whole lot of knowledge about the divorce in your state to represent yourself. If you have no knowledge, absolutely no knowledge, I don't think it's a good idea. Dan is a lawyer who has a divorce lawyer. So why don't you think for somebody who have no knowledge of the divorce law should not have a lawyer? And I don't know why the lady from the Hulk don't tell her it's not a good idea. This is the crucial mistake that Betty has made once again. If it was me, I would have sold everything I had. So I had a good lawyer. So I could have won that case. I would have been selling everything. Everything would have had to go. So I could have paid for a lawyer. A good one at that. Who knows the law. So the lady is helping her prepare for files, because she goes to the clerk office and there's nothing on record. I don't know what kind of court this is, because if you've been in court, it should be something on file. The man said there's nothing on file. I don't know what that was about. That was strange to me. Something fishy about that, but I don't know. Betty is in court, and there's people sitting in the courtroom. The reporter said, and the lady from the program helped. And I asked Dan, do you want an open or closed court? Dan wanted closed. Betty was fighting to have it open, because people could record, the reporter and everybody could record everything. And she said she have nothing to hide, and I'm with her. I would have fought that on that. The judge persuade her out of her decision. And see, me and the judge would have had a problem with this. I would have been cursing that judge out. I like, why ask me a question and then you're going to try to convince me to persuade my decisions for the other way? You should have never asked me if y'all all wanted a closed court. But I said I would have stood my ground and had it open, so people could report my side of the story of how I was beaten, untreated, unfairly in that courtroom by Dan, his lawyer, and the judge. Because I believe that judge was working with Dan and Betty to screw her over. I'm telling you, I ain't like that judge. That judge was crazy. And let me tell you, I would have had a few words with him. I would have had a few words with him. So Betty then decides to have it closed because the judge swayed her precision the other way, which was, again, her fault. If she would have had a lawyer, the lawyer would have had that open. I'm telling you. But Betty, once again, representing herself, don't know what the hell she doing, screw her own self over in that situation. This is when the court trial for the property, this is for the property settlement hearing. And Dan gives his opening statement given by his lawyer. And Betty does not have an opening statement, but prepares one on the spot. I would think that's good. She could think on top of the spot, but the point of the law is you gotta stick to facts. She really didn't stick to facts, but was more on the emotional side. Dan is on the stand and he testifies. Dan tried to make her look bad and say she is money hungry and she was only after his wealth, which is not true. But you know, Dan, he gotta stick to that lie. Betty is at home. She calls Sid to see when the article is gonna come out. She hear her daughter comes in. She tell her daughter to come in because she's home late. The daughter is being sassy, giving her attitude because she feel like she could do whatever she want. And at the end of the day, and I think Betty stood her ground and grounded her. And the daughter didn't like that. The daughter was doing something she wasn't supposed to. And as a parent, you're supposed to discipline your children when they are in the wrong or they doing something wrong. And she did the right thing by grounding her. And the daughter told her what the father and Linda been saying about her in the house, how she crazy and a monster. And in my response, I'm like, I don't give a damn what your daddy and that other woman is saying about me. I'll be like, you my child. You belong to me. You don't disrespect me, okay? You understand me? And I'll be like, you grounded for doing whatever you had to do, and you're grounded for giving me lip. Now, the punishment would have been longer. Period. This is what my mama used to say to me. You don't play me. You play lotto because you have a better chance of winning. And my mom was like, all knowing. It's like, and nothing that she did not know and was always right. I don't care what nobody say. My mom was always right. Betty is in court again. My girl is holding her own in the courtroom. But the point is, she cannot talk about the affair because this is a property asset hearing and custody of the children. And the judge keep warning her, stick to assets and property. You cannot talk about alleged affair. I don't know why. I like that's what ended the freaking marriage anyway. Hello. And then she asked her the date. When did this divorce marry? Then trying to be funny, give a different date, and then give the date of their marriage and trying to hurt Betty. I like that's fine by me, but I would have flipped it on him. I would like, then you owe me because you was chasing me the whole time. At the end of the day, you married me, and then in the back of your mind, you planned to divorce me. So you the one in reality broke the contract, okay? The marriage contract. You did not intend to stay with me long term. That means it was, what you call it, say, premeditated? I don't know. When he stated the date of the marriage, I wouldn't have got upset. He couldn't have hurt me with that. I like, then you owe me some money. Because your intention was not to stay in this marriage from the get-go. That's just my opinion. Period. Betty made valid points of Dan closing out the 2 accounts the day that he said he was gonna he had time to think. She was trying to make a valid point that he intended to leave her. But Betty made the judge look stupid as well, because she's like, you don't have the either or the or. Because she said nothing was appraised before, but you have the appraisal at current state, right? And then she was like, you don't have nothing to compare. I thought that was really good. But she should have reworded the question. That's how she got low blow. She had a lawyer. These lawyers know how to state something, rephrase a question where it could still work in your favor, but still asking the same thing, but in a different manner. But she kind of hurt herself because she gave them something where the thing would be appraised. But I didn't like that judge. That judge was something else. I feel like that judge was in the favor of Dan the whole time. I'm not sure if Dan paid that judge off. So the court is recessed for 30 days. They come back to court and she get the decision. And they hit her right in the gut. I mean, they kicked her, punched her, whatever you want to call it. Not physically, but that's what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? She owed Dan a whole lot of money. She didn't get nothing. He got full custody. And she was in tears. This is before the court. She called Sid and she want to know what happened to the article. He really couldn't do an article because it was a closed court and couldn't make a report, and then planned to sue him for false allegations, which he really couldn't write a report because it was closed. If he was open, it was an open court, he could have wrote the article, which she hurt herself again, once again. You got to stick to your gut. If your gut say something, go with that. 10 out of 10, you most likely are right about what the hell you thinking, okay? And stick with it. Don't let nobody persuade you otherwise. Betty writes in her journal how people would have handled the situation. And at the end of the day, Betty is in the gun shop, right? About to purchase a shotgun or some kind of gun. I don't know what kind of gun. And then she talking about how she was a marksman in school. I said, today, people, this world won't be kind to you. But we got to learn how to place our anger. Because anger is a deadly weapon. No matter what somebody do to you, you have to remain calm in a chaotic situation. Because God says be slow to anger. Because anger is a deadly weapon. It are the people behind the guns who kill people. Me, I would have brushed myself off. I would have paid him that money. And I would rebuild myself. Let me tell you, I love my freedom. And prison would not work well for me. Because I can't have nobody telling me when I could go to bed, when I could get up, when I have to take a shower. I like to do freely of those things as I please. So jail would not work for me. I say, people, let's channel our anger. Let's respond in a good manner. And let our success be the revenge of our enemies. Thank you and have a nice day.